Hey everybody, it's Shehan here with a new look for the new year, and today we're going to be taking a look at the MG30 from NUX. Without wasting any more time, let's get unboxing and see what we have. As always, the packaging of the NUX products are just exceptional, and this is no different. So as we open up the box, the first thing we get is the pedal itself, which I'm going to keep aside just for a moment to check out what else we have. We have the instruction manual right here, which I'm also going to keep aside. Wow, we have a nice looking warranty card right there. I don't know if you can get that in focus. So it's an international guarantee. That's really nice. We also have, I think, what appears to be the power brick, which it is. So we have the power brick right over here, which I'm going to keep aside. And we have also the NMP2 dual foot switch, which comes along with the MG30, which is a really nice addition to the whole package. And we also get a TRS cable, which will be used to connect the NMP2 to the MG30 for further control. Alright, I just moved all the boxes out of the way and all the other stuff that came in the package. And now let's open this up and take a look at the pedal itself. Wow. So here is the MG30 itself, which is a beautiful looking pedal, and it feels amazing too. The MG30 is like the big brother to the MG300, which I did do a review of a while back, so if you want to check that out as well, there should be a link down in the description box below. But it's also the successor to the MG20, which NUX released about 7 years back. It's been upgraded and updated to compete with some of the bigger names on the market. It also brings in features and functionality that are not found on those pedals, let alone any pedal in this price point. Right from the start of opening the box, you can feel the premium quality of the pedal. It has a full metal chassis with high quality foot switches, rotary knobs, buttons, jacks, and it comes with a nice big color LCD screen as well. The way to control the MG30 as well as the functions that it has on board is very similar to that of the Line 6 Helix, except it's in a much smaller package and at a much more affordable price. The MG30 has 3 foot switches, an expression pedal, a master volume control, a rotary knob which also acts as a left, right, up, down toggle, and a button. It has 4 infinite rotation knobs to change parameters, which also have buttons in them. We have 8 buttons over here, which is used to easily access effect blocks as well as switch them on or off. And finally, on the front we have the save button as well as a button to access all the global settings of the pedal. On the back of the pedal we have our input jack, the aux in, a headphone out, the send and return, which you can use to put any other pedals that you want in the chain. Just as a side note, there's a dedicated effects block on the MG30, which is the send and return, so you can move that anywhere along the chain, so you have total control. Following the send and return, we have the left and right output jacks, as well as the expression in, a USB port for all your firmware updates, your tone editing, and that you can use the MG30 as a standalone audio interface for your guitar. And finally, we have the 9-volt DC power port to power the pedal, as well as a switch to turn it on or off. The MG30 goes by a statement that says less is more when it comes to their amp selection as well as the effects that are found on the pedal. Normally companies like to pack as many options for amps and effects into a pedal as they can, even though 80% of those options might be complete garbage. NUX on the other hand have just put the best of the best on the pedal, and I love it. It takes away that time-wasting, unending process of making a great guitar tone and just streamlines it. It's so easy to get great tone because all the options on there sound good anyway. Now, even though there might be less in number when it comes to amp selections as well as effects on the pedal, it's not like there's actually something missing. You have all the effects that you want, you have all the amps you want, you have all the sounds that you need right on here. And so there's absolutely nothing lacking in terms of tonal possibilities with the MG30. There are a total of 12 blocks that you can use per preset. The 12 blocks which you can use for each preset consists of a block for a wah-wah, a block for a gate, a block for a compressor, a block for your effects, which is all your overdrives, distortions, fuzzes, etc. A block for amps, a block for IRs, which you can also load your own custom ones on, a block for EQs, a block for modulation, a block for delay, a block for reverb, a block for volume control, and finally the effects loop. Now the order of these blocks can be changed to whatever you like, and you can route it however you want. At first glance you might think you could only use one effect from each of these blocks. For example, if you use one modulation effect like a phaser, you would not be able to use something like a univibe at the same time. But I actually happened to stumble upon a very cool feature that NUX have included, that if you want, you would be able to get an extra modulation block, or you would be able to get 2 extra effects blocks. Now the way you would go about doing this is that you would have to sacrifice one of the other blocks. For example, if you want an extra modulation block, if you go onto the effects page, just press and hold. When you get into that effects page, if you press and hold the effects button again, it will change into the modulation effects. And you can do the same thing on a modulation block. So if you wanted 2 effects blocks instead of that modulation block, you can go into the modulation block, and when you're in that page, press the modulation block again, and that will give you options for the effects. Now, like most pedals that come in this form factor and in this price range, the MG30 comes with a built-in drum machine and a looper. Now, for those of you who have used a Line 6 pedal and have experienced the joy of using snapshots, on the MG30 we have something very similar, and it's called scenes. So you can set up 3 different scenes per patch. These scenes work exactly like how a snapshot would work. You can change anything within that patch, and it just seamlessly transitions when you change from scene to scene. When it comes to control options, the MG30 can control practically any parameter with the expression pedal as well as the control foot switch. You can also use the NMP2, which comes along with the MG30, to get 2 additional foot switches to control whatever you like. And NUX added more control to the MG30 in their latest firmware update by introducing the smart tap tempo function, which was so loved in their Atlantic delay pedal. The smart tap tempo function functions as a tap tempo when you're tapping it out, but at the same time it also functions as an on and off switch, and somehow it's smart enough to recognize when you want to do the one that you want to do, which is why it's called the smart tap tempo. It's smart. No, but seriously, they have somehow come up with the way to make this magic happen, and it's a game changer. The MG30 has options to select what system you're running it through. So whether you plug DI in the studio into an audio interface, or you're going through a combo amp, a stack amp, and it could be the front or the back, there's always an option for that, as well as a global EQ and volume control for it. Now this is something that I find extremely useful, especially on weeks when I'm playing through multiple different setups, because I can just turn one knob to change the system that I'm running it through, and my tone stays consistent. The MG30 also has a pre-EQ section, which essentially just EQs your guitar before it hits any of the effects on the pedal. So in case you have a guitar that has some harsh high frequencies, some honky mid-range, or some booming bass frequencies, you can clean those up before the guitar hits any of the other processing on the pedal. NUX also has their own software called the Quick Tone Editing software, which you can use to easily edit your patches, to save them, to export them, to import them, to load in your own impulse responses, and to really configure how the pedal works. The software is super intuitive and easy to work with and perfectly complements the MG30. The MG30 also has some features which are the first of its kind for a guitar pedal. And one of these features that I love the most, which I haven't seen any other pedal do, is the fact that now you can load up your own custom artwork for the startup of the pedal, like I have right over here. And there are features that are a bit more out there, like the fact that you can play Snake on the pedal. Yeah. But without wasting any more time, let's check out some sounds from this pedal and see what this thing can do. So what are my final thoughts on the MG30? Now I've been using the pedal for a few weeks, and what I can say is that the MG30 has set the bar so high in terms of multi-effects guitar pedals. This thing has everything I've wanted in a multi-effects pedal. I mean, the tones alone are exceptional, but the functionality and the controls that NUX have put into the MG30 just take it to a whole new level. Not to mention that it comes in such a small, lightweight package. Now, I used a Line 6 Helix for a while, and one of the things that I really hated about it was just how heavy it was and how much space it took. It was just a burden to carry around. The user interface of the MG30, along with that beautiful color display, is such a joy to work with and makes it so easy for you to get what you want out of the pedal. Now, the MG30 is priced at $299 at the time when I'm filming this, and I can tell you for a fact that this thing punches way above its price point. NUX are always amazing when it comes to firmware updates, customer support. Just drop them a message if you think that there's something that should be on the pedal which is missing, which they can do through a firmware update, and they'll make it happen. Now, I think there's only one thing that people would miss on the MG30, and that's including myself. And that's just the number of foot switches. It would have been nice to see a pedal with 6 or even 8 foot switches. But considering the price NUX is offering this for, as well as the market they're intending it for, I think they have nailed it 100%. Now if you really do want to get more foot switches than what's on the MG30 as well as the NMP2, there is something interesting that I did find out recently. Now the USB port on the back can also be used for one more thing, and that is to connect a MIDI controller to the pedal. So using the USB port, you could connect something like the MeloAudio MIDI commander to get all those extra foot switches and extra control. I'm gonna drop a link down in the description box below of someone who has done something like this if you would be interested in checking that out and seeing how that works. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope it was helpful to you. If you want to get your hands on the MG30, I have put links down in the description box below where you can purchase your own pedal. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, definitely do check out some of the other ones too. And I shall see you guys in the next video.